Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia. I'm an Auckland wedding photographer at Lydia Rachel Photography and your host. Before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to let you know that tickets are on sale now for our upcoming live events in Auckland and Christchurch this September. These are intimate afternoons bringing together some incredible wedding experts, beautiful brands, and of course you, our Kiwi Wedding Podcast community. It's going to be a chance to get inspired, ask questions, meet other people planning their weddings, and have a really lovely afternoon together. I'd absolutely love to see you there. So if you've been thinking about coming along, make sure you grab your ticket. You'll find all the details and ticket links in the show notes. And keep an eye on our Instagram because with a little help from some amazing brands, I'll also be doing a giveaway for the events very soon. While you're there, you can also sign up for my Love Letter newsletter, which goes out fortnightly, and join the Kiwi Wedding Podcast Community Facebook group. Both linked in the show notes. I'd love to have you in both spaces, and it is a great opportunity to interact more with the community. Now on to today's episode. Today on the podcast, I'm chatting with Brianna about her beautiful Auckland city wedding to her husband, Tom. After meeting at university in Otago and getting engaged in Puglia, Italy, Brianna and Tom set about creating a wedding that felt completely true to them. Food, guest experience, and a really good party were at the top of their list, which led them to a restaurant reception at Gilt, a ceremony surrounded by art at the historic Administrator House, and a few very fun surprises along the way. From choosing their wedding witnesses through a raffle to leading more than 100 guests to their reception with a marching band, this was a wedding that proves you really can make the rules your own. We also chat about finding the right dress, navigating the guest list, prioritising your budget, and why Brianna thinks the best thing you can do is choose vendors you trust and let them do what they do best. Okay, let's get into it. Enjoy episode 159 with Brianna. Hi Brianna, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. Excited to chat all about your story and your wedding.
Oh, thanks for having me.
To get started with, if you could just tell us a bit of the story of how you guys met and your life together.
My now husband, Tom, and I met in Otago at uni, 11 years ago? No, longer than that. We've been together for 10, 11-ish years. So it's probably 15 years ago now that we met. Something like that.
Together after a while.
Yeah, exactly. And so we met down there, and then we're both from Auckland originally. So then after uni came back up to Auckland. But that's essentially how we met. We have like a great group of friends from there who I guess we probably met through. But I feel like down there everyone's kind of in the same boat and all gets shoved together.
Totally. Nice. So you're together a little while and then got engaged. Can you tell us about the proposal story?
Yeah, so we'd probably been together for 7 or 8 years before we got engaged. And I totally didn't think it was going to happen. Like all my friends were like, you're going to get engaged on this trip. And I was like, no, like we just bought our apartment. I was like, there's no way that this is going to happen. It turns out it did. So they were all right. But we'd actually gone to Europe for the Rugby World Cup. He's a huge sports fan, and I went because it was in France, which was the selling point to me. But at that point we were actually in Italy. So he proposed in Puglia, which is very cool.
Beautiful.
Amazing spot. But yeah, I was totally surprised, didn't see it coming at all.
So good. Love that. Had you been one of those girls that kind of dreamed about your wedding? Did you have a bit of a vision in mind? And what were those sort of first steps deciding where to have it, planning?
Yeah, I mean, I love a good event or a good party. So certainly that aspect of it, I definitely thought a lot about. The wedding, I guess itself probably wasn't quite top of my list in terms of a traditional ceremony, like some people want a really beautiful traditional ceremony, which is amazing. But for us as a couple, it certainly probably wasn't quite the path that we were ever going to go down, I guess. The venue we actually really struggled with for a while. We looked at a few different spots, nothing that kind of like really meant anything to us. We thought about getting married up north in like Omaha or Matakana, but then just like the logistics of getting everything to a private property and all of that, I was like, this is too hard. And then so we just kind of left it for a while. We weren't in a huge rush or anything. We weren't desperate for it to be, you know, underway ASAP. And then we were actually just at Gilt for dinner one night, and I was like, oh, I wonder how many people you could fit in here. And because food is like probably was always one of our biggest things that we wanted, and so loved the idea of getting married at a restaurant where the food is amazing, the service is spectacular. And so then got in touch with the team, and they were like, oh, you can fit about 120-ish people in here. So that kind of fit our number as well, which then it all kind of came from there.
Oh, so good. Yeah, definitely tricky to find the right sort of venue. And then so you had the administrator house and then Gilt kind of receptions, a couple of city spots. Yeah
exactly. So after we'd, I guess, chosen Gilt, it was then where we have the ceremony, and administrator house is like right down the road, which kind of worked out perfectly, and it's covered in this incredible collection of art which is right up our alley, and it all just kind of came together.
Yeah, so beautiful. I think it's now closed for weddings, or it's like turned into something else, which is sad because it's such a cool building. Even like the outside and just down that street, but almost makes it more special that you had your day there.
I know, it was only like a month after we got married, which was sad to see, but feel lucky that we were able to use it before that.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned a few things in there, but what were your sort of top priorities, the most important elements of the day for you?
Yeah, good question. I think I'd actually listened to a podcast whilst I was engaged, and they were like, talk to your partner and pick your top 3 favorite, not favorite, I guess, biggest priorities for the day, and then see what aligns, and then that's what you should allocate most budget to or do something special for or whatever. And ours definitely aligned. It was food, guest experience, I guess, is probably what I'd run up to. It's like those surprise and delight moments, like the unexpected little details, things like that. And then I guess just like general vibe was probably it. Like we definitely wanted it to be like a really fun atmosphere and for everyone to just have the best time, which I guess also probably comes under that guest experience. But I guess for us, just making sure that everyone had the best day was like top of our list.
Yeah, so good. Such important ones. And can you tell us a bit about your wedding outfits, your dress, that whole experience? Did you go shopping?
Yeah, I mean, Tom's was easy. He just went to Crane Brothers, got a beautiful tuxedo, and he was done and dusted. Mine was a bit of a journey. It's funny because I didn't really know what I wanted. And I think like some people have a definite idea of what they want. And I reckon 90% of the time end up walking out with something completely different to what they thought they were going to wear. My sister was like, I don't want any embellishments or bead or lace or anything, and then ended up wearing like a entirely embellished gown. So I kind of had that in my head that I probably should just try everything and anything on and probably see how it goes. And my friend actually works for a bridal designer in Sydney, so I started there, had an amazing experience there, didn't quite probably find anything that I loved. And then I went to LA for we went to the States for a friend's wedding, and I went to a bridal boutique over there where I tried on a few Danielle Frankel dresses, which I loved and kind of thought that was definitely probably more my vibe. They didn't have the full range there, so it was probably just more trying on styles and getting kind of a feel for what she creates. And then I ended up buying the dress I wore online. But it was by her. So I kind of already had a feel of what her dresses were like, and just bought it online and got it shipped to New Zealand.
Amazing. And then just got any alterations done?
Yeah, I just went to Wendy and Tom in Newmarket, who are amazing. I feel like they can do anything to any dress.
So good. I think, yeah, that's such a thing, just trying on some different styles, getting a feel
Mm.
for it. And then, yeah, if you have like a designer you love, you probably get, yeah, to know the like fit and form of them. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
so good. Did you have a bridal party as well? And yeah, if so, was that easy choosing them or just decide to or not?
Yeah, we each had a bridal party, groom's party. So I had five bridesmaids and Tom had five groomsmen, and then one of our best friends married us. So I include her as part of the bridal party as well. And it was hard. There's obviously, I mean, if you could have like 20 bridesmaids, I probably would have. But my main thing is I just wanted to like get ready and spend the day with some of my closest friends, and they definitely were the best people to have around. And yeah, it was so much fun from start to end. But yeah, so yeah, five each.
Nice. So good. So much fun. And how did you go with the guest list? Did you find that quite tricky to narrow down? How many did you end up having?
Yeah, we found that really hard. I think not long after we got engaged, we wrote like a draft list as to everyone we could think of that we would invite. And I think we were at like 250 people,
Mm.
which finding a venue, one, that can fit that many people, and two, then obviously the costs involved of buying dinner for 250 people. So we definitely had to be pretty ruthless. And I guess once we found Gilt, we had a number that we had to stick to. So that probably helped us. But obviously, there would have been so many other people that we would have loved to have had there, including as well friends that we invited that live in the UK and couldn't come back, or live overseas and couldn't come back. Yeah, so we ended up, I think, with 117 or something like that. But yeah, we over invited, and then
Mm.
like, oh, and it's funny because
Hope
when
for
you
the
invite
best.
people, all you get back first is all the yeses. Everyone's like, yes, I'd love to come, I'd love to come, I'd love to come. And I'm like, we need 8 people here not to come. And we knew that there were some people that wouldn't be able to come back from London or wherever. But yeah, at first you're like, I don't know where you're going to be sitting because I've oversubscribed here.
So good. Glad that you landed on the right amount. It kind of helps to have those parameters with the venue or something to narrow it down. But yeah, such a tricky process for sure. Can you walk us through the big day, maybe a little of the lead up to it, and yeah, how everything went? Kind of, yeah, run us through like the timeline and any highlights, favorite moments.
So we probably started planning maybe like a year in advance after we'd been to Gilt. I think it was about a year, maybe just over. And from there, it all came together pretty easily. I, not so much in my job now, but previously have planned a lot of events and have quite a few contacts, which certainly makes it a lot easier, deciding florists and all that kind of thing. It was an easy choice for me. You instantly just know who you're going to use, which is a huge advantage, and I'm sure takes a lot of the stress out of planning if you already know all of those things. So it all came together pretty quickly, and especially when you use vendors that you know and trust and love their style, I think the best thing you can do is, well, probably it's annoying for them because I was like, just do whatever you want, but I think if you choose the right vendor, you can trust their take on things and just probably leave them to create their magic, which is why you choose them. I think, some people choose a photographer and then try and tell them how to do their style, a different style. It's like, well, probably just choose a photographer that does that style in the first place, and then you'll be happy with the results. But so yeah, all of that came together quite quickly. And wedding planning is a funny one, right? Because you book so much so far in advance, and then there's like this lull for probably 6 to 9 months where nothing really happens because you're just kind of waiting, and then it all ramps back up, obviously, as the big day approaches. But the day itself, I mean, the girls certainly started a lot earlier than the boys, which I think is pretty common. But we just got ready at my parents' place, and everyone was just there, music on, and then hair, makeup, back to back. We obviously had a few people to get through, so which was fun. And we were ready so early, which was great. I really thought we'd be pushing it for time, but then we kind of had this time to kill, which yeah, was fun, and we just laughed, and it was great, just great energy to have around. right before, and then headed down to the venue. And that's another funny one, is it's like I had no idea what it was going to look like until I got there. It's like you do so much planning and dictate this whole day, and then like you don't get to see it really before you arrive, and then you're straight into it, you know? And so I didn't really know. My dad had been down to drop a few things off, so he'd kind of had a look around and filled me in on what was going on. But yeah, it's quite a weird experience. But yeah, got taken down to the venue, and then yeah, we just went straight into the ceremony, which was pretty short and sharp, like probably 15, 20 minutes at the most. And we had a few kind of surprises in there. We couldn't decide who was going to be our witnesses, so we did a raffle. Like everyone's names were just in a bowl, and we picked out two, which was really fun and exciting. And again, you know, so much of the day is planned to a T, and it was nice having an element that was like a complete surprise to both of us, that we truly had no idea who was going to be chosen, which was really fun. From there, left the venue, and I guess the challenge, well, not so much the challenge, was getting over 100 people to the next venue, which they didn't know about. So everyone thought it was just at Administrator House. And so it was, how do we get over 100 people up to Gilt, which is not far. I mean, it's about 50 meters, but we're whilst keeping it a surprise. So I'd actually been, when I was in the States for a friend's wedding, a few of us went to Oaxaca in Mexico, and there was this wedding there. And I think it's quite a common thing. They have these huge parades through the town with like music and these enormous puppets, and they're just incredible. And I guess that's probably what inspired us to then, we got a marching band to meet us outside after the ceremony and lead everyone up to the next venue, which again, another surprise and delight moment. But it was, yeah, the easiest way and a fun way to get everyone moving on to the next location. And then from there, we just had drinks and nibbles. We went off and got some photos taken just right down the road, which was really easy. And then came back in, and then went into dinner, speeches, all that kind of thing. Amazing food, incredible service from the Gilt team. They are amazing, which I think makes a huge impact on everyone's experience of the night. And then finished with dessert, and then whilst we were at dinner, Administrator House got flipped into a dance floor. So everyone went back down there for dancing until the end of the night.
Such a cool way to do it, and those special little surprise moments in there, and just kind of like, yeah, really thinking about the transition moments, I think, as well, the like flow of the day. Yeah, such cool spots as well. And I so rate having a restaurant do your food in your reception. Like there's some amazing catering companies out there, but yeah, the kind of service and then the vibe of the restaurant as well, so special. What did you find like the hardest part about wedding planning, or is there anything you look back on and regret or would have done a little differently?
I don't think there's anything I regret. To be honest, I think the only thing is like, since I've gotten married, I've seen or had so many other ideas and it's all over and you can't use them. I'm like, oh, I would have loved to have done that, or oh, I wish I had thought of that before. Yeah, but no, certainly no regrets at all.
And yeah, did you find it like stressful planning at all? I guess you said you had that kind of event experience and knew people, so yeah, was okay with the whole wedding planning experience.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I wasn't a bridezilla. Yeah, I didn't really find any of it stressful at all. It was just fun. Yeah.
So good. Love a positive story. Amazing. Did you guys have a set wedding budget, if you're happy to talk about what that was or how you found that whole side of things?
Yeah, it wasn't. My dad would probably be like, yes, it was set in stone, but not set as such. I guess probably once we'd figured out where we were going to do it, and that obviously to close a restaurant, it has a minimum spend, which obviously then gets put towards all your food and drink anyway, and it's probably what we likely would have easily have spent if we had a caterer or whatever that might be. So I guess once you have that base cost, it's then figuring out everything else on top of that. So it wasn't so like much set in stone, but yeah, I guess it's probably just all the costs do add up. And I think having that, like the three things that we wanted to prioritize, definitely helped you allocate budget a lot, because I think it's so easy to think that you need to do everything. And I think if like flowers aren't top of your list, you know, there's no point in spending a whole heap on flowers if that's not what you want. Or if flowers are your most favorite thing in the world, it's like, well, then put the budget there. I think that definitely helps you figure out, because there is so much pressure to probably do everything for everyone. And I'm sure we didn't have it so much, but you know, opinions of others, and that you should be spending all this money. And because it's a lot of money to spend on one day. But yeah, I think that definitely helped us prioritize where we wanted to put most of the budget into.
Makes sense, and sounds like, yeah, you had a bit of an idea of how much things are, so not super surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For some. Did you guys go on honeymoon straight away, or what did planning that look like?
Yeah, I wanted some time off afterwards, just a week, just I guess to decompress. And I guess if you get married on a Saturday and have to go back to work on Monday, it's a bit of a come down. But so I put that in Tom's hands. I said, "You plan something." I said, "I've planned this whole wedding. You can you can plan a trip."
You're
so we knew we probably wanted to do like a bigger trip as our honeymoon later on. But so we went to Brisbane for a few days, which was amazing, and just chilled by the pool and ate lots of great food. There's so many great restaurants over there. And then we ended up going to Tanzania over Christmas as our honeymoon, which was incredible. Could not recommend it more. It was the coolest trip we've ever done. It was, yeah, like magical.
Amazing. I love that. It's a good, like, a little bit different inspo place for people to go. So
Yeah,
cool.
and I think probably like everything happens with the wedding and it is all over so quick. It was actually quite nice having something a little bit further away to look forward to, you know, like it was
Totally.
to have something in 10 months' time that you then get to enjoy, rather than it all kind of being back to back to back and then it's all over in one go. You kind of stretch it out for as long as you can.
Absolutely. Such a good way to do it. Did you have any sort of helpful resources that you used during wedding planning in terms of finding inspiration or finding your vendors, stuff like that?
I think I listened to that Newlyweds podcast with Jamie Lang and Sophie Habu one, and they had so many great guests on there that that's actually where I got that tip of the three things. But yeah, there's so many guests on there that I guess just spark ideas, or international vendors to look to. Instagram's probably a big one for me. I mean, I follow lots of designers and event planners from all around the world on there, so definitely took pieces of inspiration from there. But yeah, I think just keeping an eye out for anything and everything. I mean, that wedding in Oaxaca that we saw then sparked the idea. I mean, it was definitely on a way more low-key basis than what they did. But yeah, I think it's just kind of taking inspiration from anywhere and then working with your venue and what they've already got, I think helps a lot. Like we really didn't need to bring anything into Gilt. Like all their cutlery and glassware and plateware is beautiful. So just working with that to kind of, I guess, dictate the style and how that would look and feel all together. And then, I mean, it wasn't around when I got married, but some amazing friends of mine have since launched Veil magazine, which I think is a great resource. There's so many incredible pieces of inspiration in there. So would highly recommend looking at that.
Yeah, so stunning. It's yeah, really beautiful. Even like a keepsake coffee table
totally
book,
I know,
basically more than a magazine. It's like an art piece, but yeah, so much cool inspo in there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, you've given some great advice already, but is there anything else you would say to a couple planning their wedding at the moment?
I don't know. I think just to have fun with it. I mean, obviously, if you feel like something's too traditional or too, not right for you, then I guess like just don't do it. I think people feel the pressure to do certain things just because that's what you're supposed to do at a wedding, and I think it's 2026 and you can do whatever you want to do. That was certainly our mindset going into it, was just to make it our own, and if there was something we didn't like, we just didn't do it, basically. So yeah, I guess just not doing something because you, for the sake of it, because you feel like you should, and just making it your own and making it true to you guys as a couple.
So good. Yeah, great advice. And what is married life like now? Do you feel like you got the post-wedding blues after your wedding?
Yeah, I mean, it all happens so quickly and then it's all over. You're like, oh, but and I think even just the come down from like being in a room with pretty much everyone you love is pretty special, and it's something you rarely get to do. I think, yeah, even just having all our friends and go back to the UK or to the States or wherever was also sort of a slow decline from the wedding. But yeah, I guess then we just were straight back into work, and it's pretty much similar to what it's always been. But yeah, I think having that honeymoon booked for later in the year definitely helped with that. Something else to look forward to.
For sure. So good. Amazing. That's all my questions. Is there anything else that we missed or you wanted to add before we wrap up?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, so good. I think, yeah, really cool to hear about your story and your beautiful day. We'll share a few photos from it. But yeah, thank you so much for coming
Cool.
on.
Thanks, Lydia. No worries.